You think it's plate. Hello, everybody. It's Laura Ward here in the house of rolling chaos with two little chaotic beasts and one big fatto. And you are in Somatic Mat. It is a participatory class. I invite you to participate with me. I'm actually in a Zoom room with other people. So if you think I'm talking to myself or saying weird things, it's because there are other people in here with me. And so let's start. Take everything at your own level. If you need to adjust, feel free to do that. I'm just going to shut the door so that I'm not screaming for Anthony. Although there's really no actual shutting of these doors because I need the cats to be able to come and go. Inhale, open up. We're going to just breathe for a second, get into our bodies, and then we'll do the lymph flush. Inhale, open your heart, open your lungs, reach up. And then as your arms come down, let your tensions melt out of your shoulders. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, invite the tension in your shoulders, neck, head, jaw to relax. Inhale, lift. This time, let's shake it out. So actively get rid of any tension in your body. And again, inhale, open. Shaking out your shit, other people's shit, all the stuff that you don't need. Shake it out. One more like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, shake, shake, shake. And just feel how that activates your system, right? If we're kind of down-regulated, getting out, taking the arms up, especially shaking and looking up is going to really lift you up. Yeah, we're not quite at the lymph yet. Circle, hips. So we're getting the fluid in our spines to move, neck, jaw, tongue. And just movement and deep breathing is going to stimulate your lymphatic system anyway. And lymphatic is maybe the biggest detoxifier of the body. We also change direction. We also detoxify through our skin, through our breathing, through our pooping and peeing. And then let's come in and do this lymph work. So you're going to take your hand. My right hand is going to, Michael's just coming in. Right hand is going up into this quadrant of the left. We're just doing the lymph detox, Michael. We just started. And you're going to make little circles. So right hand to your left quadrant. And so this is like a lymph is operating on a pressure system. This is a low pressure area, and lymph is going to come back in around your heart to sort of refilter. So we want to release the space in here so that there's more room for that lymph to come back in and filter. And if things are blocked in your body, like it can affect your skin, it can be autoimmune problems, all sorts of things. So we really want this lymph to be functioning at a maximal level, at a healthy level. Change it to the other side, same thing, getting into that quadrant. You can also let it go below your collarbone a little bit if you want. It feels good though. A nice little squish of that tissue. Big node road of nodes. And let's take it up into the back of the angle behind the jaw. I do both of these at the same time. Relaxing my neck and tongue, relax your face. Everything is okay. Don't need to worry. Let it all go. Droopy voice. You can even add some sound. Let that release. And then coming into pec, armpit, deltoid area. So the reason that we want to start with the left side first is that the left quadrant of our body, or the left side of our body is actually doing 3/4 of the lymph in our body. And the right side is just doing this upper right quadrant and a little bit of the cisterna chyli, which is that big one down there. Do it to your other side. So we want to make sure that we start with left because it's going to be doing more work than the right side. Into that armpit, upper boob quadrant, pec, deltoid. Oh, they're both down there on the mat now, settling down. Okay, and then we're going to come into this big one between your xiphoid process and your belly button. It's called your cisterna chyli. And it's like the biggest lymph node in your whole body. And it's kind of deep in there. So getting in, yeah. And this can, like if you're having stomach trouble, gastrointestinal problems, stuff like that, there could be some kind of block in that area. So we're just encouraging it to smoothly flow, imagining that that lymph node is really easy, happy lymph node road. And then let's shake that out for a second. Oh, and also I learned yesterday, I've been watching the stuff that along the inside of our spine is like a major pathway of lymph. So if that lymph is kind of getting stuck and stagnant and we're going to have a hard time turning our spine. So that's also one reason why we want to have this kind of twisting, is that that's going to help the deep internal lymph node areas to start to move. All right, coming into groin, right in here, big area, lots of stuff happening in there, right in the inguinal fold, get it going. And then last one is going to be behind our knees. Letting that stuff out, letting it move, fluid flow in the body. We want the fluids in our body. Go ahead and shake it all out, bounce, whatever. If jumping is too much for you, you can just bounce without jumping. But if jumping feels okay, give it some little active, all around you, waking up the whole kinesphere. Let's just do a sparkle through your kinesphere moment. Shake it all out, like you're clearing all the space around you of any kind of, I love the word detritus, any kind of crap. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, let it go. Find the space behind you, find those high back diagonals, those forward high, forward low diagonals. Oh. A lot of indigenous traditions have a very sort of bouncy dance, which, I mean, when you do this kind of bouncing, you can feel, I can feel the connection to the earth. So just getting that connection of our bodies to the earth, feeling earth energy in our bodies. Maybe a little thank you to the earth for being there with us. Shake it all out. And then let's come down to the floor, sitting in a cross-legged position. The catos have gone into the other playroom, which is the movement music room. We're just going to stretch side to side. Inhale and exhale. Circling the whole way around if that feels good. So big port de bras, head away from your tail, blossoming open on top. And then let's change legs. Oh, there's doggy time. Michael's got a dog who likes like 1 minute of affection and then that's enough. So we gotta love this doggy affection moment. Let me kiss you. Oh my God, so cute. All right, change legs, non-dominant, take it forward. Look at that little tail wag. Your dog's tail is kind of like my Manx cat's tail, kind of short and stubby. Free flow through your spine. As we're doing this free flow through the spine, imagining the cerebral spinal fluid, the fluid that's bolstering your whole nervous system, bolstering your brain, protecting it, and also nourishing it and removing waste, doing all of these things. Just imagine that really nicely moving from your head to your tail. Nice movement of the cerebral spinal fluid, yay. And then coming up, and let's just take a quick twist. Let's take a couple of quick twists, going in your own time, just alternating sides, feeling into that, what feels good. Breathing. You may want to take longer somewhere, maybe not, whatever. Some days I just want to keep moving, and some days I need to sit in it a little bit more. So listening into your own body to decide what that is for you today. Good. And let's take the legs out in front and just give them a little shake for a second. And we're going to get into this space just above. I'm going to stand up to show you, and I'm going to sit back down to do it. Just above, and of course with these pants you can barely see, but this is on top of my knees, this is below my knees. I'm going to start up here in this, on these, and just give them a massage. It's interesting, I can feel as I massage that my right leg, the muscles in my right leg are much bigger than the ones in my left, which is kind of interesting because in my body, and I'm going to just go from the top, my knees are slightly bent, and work my way down. If you're seated, then it doesn't matter, they can be bent or straight. I just want to give my knees some love. Yeah, and I can really feel the difference in the musculature of my right and my left, which is interesting because I don't favor one leg as far as like, I'm not right-legged. I always kicked equally in soccer, in dance. It doesn't make much of it doesn't make any difference to me, but I definitely am not as grounded on my left side. So just a little piece of information there. So it's good to pay attention to what is happening in your body and like what your relationships inside your body are. Let's take the arms out to the side. We're going to exhale, back of the hands towards each other, and inhale. Oh, opening into the world. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale. Spread the love. Exhale. Back of the hands. Inhale. Spiral present. Exhale. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. We're going to change it. Inhale. Serve the sandwiches to all your friends on one side of the room. Halfway down. Inhale. Serve the sandwiches on the other side. Halfway down. Using your breath. Inhale. Open. Expand. Exhale. Halfway down. Inhale. Open. Expand. Open your heart. Open your lungs. Feeling the fingertips like the wings of the heart. Just opening out. And the same, you could even think the wings of the lungs. One more time each side. Inhale, expansive, open it up. Last one. And then we're going to change it. We're going to go all the way down. Stretch it out. Just stay there. Stretch one side really long and then stretch the other. So we're working on these like trains of fascia. It's such a like mechanical word to say a train, but imagine it like a trail from your fingertips down through the soles of your feet, through your body, one long, huge connected system, stretching out one side, reaching, feeling that whole thing, and then stretching out the other side. Oh, feeling this internal connection, one whole body. And in a sort of quantum entanglement way, which really isn't quantum entanglement because we are one physical system that is enclosed within our skin, but like, and something going on in my finger can affect something in a totally different part of my body, or something going on in like the way the tissue around my brain is holding or around my cranium can affect another part of my body. Like these are hyper interconnected systems. Okay, inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, bend your knees, coming up. Inhale, backstroke, swimming through the space. And then taking it back down, getting very long, open, expansive. Exhale up, inhale, swim. Inhale, open, exhale, inhale, backstroke. Again, opening heart, lungs, and chest. Inhale, take it down, lengthen, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Deep breath, get long. Exhale, backstroke. So this, if we were talking in terms of Bartenia fundamentals, there's a lot of things going on here, but we could talk about the arm circle being part of this activity. As we're doing that arm circle, nice gradated rotation through the rotator cuff, which means that your humerus, the upper bone of your arm, is just easing its way around. Let's do it one more time on each side. Inhale, open, gradated rotation, just a little bit of rotation as it goes all the way around. And then taking it down. And the last one, all the way around. Yeah, so I'm just going to come in and talk about this for a second. So how our humerus comes up into this ball and socket joint. What we're talking about with that gradated rotation is that there's a slight amount of rotation all the way around the curve. So it's not doing like boop, flip and come around. It's like circle, 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 circle. And there's this nice, lovely spiral into that joint. Yeah, so if you feel like there's a pop and a click somewhere where it does sort of a flip over, see if you can just slow that down and take the rotation differently through there. Yeah. In the Laban work, we talk a lot about the hand scapula connection, or the pinky all the way down into the scapula. So there's this relationship, pinky to scapula. And if you touch the base of your scapula, if you grab back here, you should be able to get to that bottom point of your scapula. And you start to move your hand around, we want that to all have some motion. So you're not trying to lock your shoulder blades down so that they don't move. We're trying to have some support. I like to also add the collarbone into that. Your clavicle is part of that support system. Let's try it on the other side, same thing. Just find that pinky, grab onto the bottom of your scapula and just dance the arm around. So yeah, if we were in like studying Laban movement analysis together, you'd have a partner and somebody would be holding, different partners holding and touching things. So we'd have these ways of sensing into our bodies. Yeah. Anyway, thinking of that as one whole system so that we can stay really healthy and connected through that rotator cuff, through that joint. All right, let's go to just knee drops on the floor. Really loose and easy. And I don't do these in the typical Vartanieff way. I like to open all the way and then close. So I'm letting my top leg move, taking it all the way open, and then that takes me to the other side. The other side closes. As I'm doing this, I'm relaxing my butt, relaxing my lower back. Oh, getting a nice massage through my sacrum. And I'm going to start to take it a little deeper into the spiral. Oh, it feels so good. And when I take it deeper into the spiral, the place that I feel it the most is actually between my shoulders, in my rhomboids, a little bit in my upper traps. And again, thinking that as we're doing the spiral, we are freeing up inside, in front of our spine, that whole area of lymph nodes that's in there. There's also a whole bunch of them down the front of our sternum. So let's go with that for a second. We're just going to take our hands, start up here at this. I'll just do it seated up. You can do it laying on your backs or seated. You're all happy you're up and happy you're down. Here are your K27 points. You're just going to get those going. So they're the 2 points. You should feel a little indentation underneath your couple of fingers underneath your collarbone and in. There should be an indentation there. If you do it with one hand, part of your hand is going to be crossing midline, right? So anytime we're crossing midline, you can alternate sides. So here's my midline. You can see my hand is on both sides of that. Starting to discern midline in our bodies. And when we cross over, it does magical things for our nervous system. What are those magical things? Who can even say? There's so many of them. And then we're going to go for a little thymus thump and maybe add a ha Tarzan. If I was really Tarzan, I'd be here. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, giving it a thump. And then we're going to go down the center line on either side and just go down just in between boobs, and you can come back up with that. So this is actually a connective tissue stroke. You can go down and come up, but there's a lot of stuff going on there. So however it feels good for you, you can kind of go back and forth to massage it. You can go in lines, but just waking that stuff up. Relax neck, tongue, and jaw. Oh, and then we're going to go for one more thump under here, which is just the bottom under your boobs. Or if you don't have boobs, under, yeah, just I'm still on my ribs. But yeah, there you go. That's it. Oh, so it's just sort of over your diaphragm. Just take a couple of deep breaths, deep into your belly, all the way down there. Yeah, that deep diaphragmatic breathing, so good for our organs, so good for our lymph, so good. Okay, and we're going to come back to this spiral. I'm going to turn around so that I have more room. Could move my chair. Open the arms out side. Knees are going to be bent, twisting both legs together. If you want to make this harder, you can straighten your legs out. If anyone out there in the Hudson Valley needs some cats, Cast Aside to Survive has great kitties. This little guy had two other siblings, two little white guys that look a lot like him. I think one was a girl. They might have both been girls. They might have been a girl and a boy. But anyway, yeah. If you need some chaos and joy in your life, consider adopting a cat. Bring it in, shake it out, let it go. Or a dog. And lower your feet to the floor. And let's go with lifting your pelvis up. Interlace your hands behind your butt. Walk your shoulders closer together. And we're going to roll to the outer edge of the foot and then touch the knees together. So inhale, open. Exhale, close. Back of the body working, front of the body opening up. Exhale, close. So we did some twisting, some side with spiral movement. Now we're doing very sagittal movement, but we're adding that spiral in with the legs. Internal rotation, external rotation. Spiraling in, spiraling out. So we're working the back of the body, but we're getting this really beautiful three-dimensional movement through our legs. And we're rolling to the outer edge of our foot and then to the inner edge, trying to keep the pelvis high. Using your breath like bellows. And then come in, heels, you can inch your feet a little bit more underneath you. We're going to go up to tippy toes and then lower down. Press it up and lower. Press and lower. Press and lower. Pushing the floor away and lower. Working the back of the body. Lower, getting those calves and ankles to waken up. One more, up. And let's stay pulsing for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Open, release. Melt into the floor. Take your time or go fast. Really take your own tempo. Let's open into a happy baby. Finding some happy babiness in the baby. Oh, yeah, we got to see little Blake on screen in the dance class yesterday. Just a little bit. Yeah, the babiness. Inviting the baby quality into your body. Inviting the baby quality into your tissues. Pre-holding patterns, shake it all out. Let it go. Finding freedom in your body. And then release and go back and forth. Yeah, if we keep doing rigid patterning, we're going to roll forward, backward, or roll side. If we stick with really rigid patterning all the time, we are not creating freedom in our bodies. Like, for example, rigid, like ballet movement or militaristic movement, or even yoga, depending on the teacher, it can be really like, this is the right way, there is no other way. That's not a way to discover anything. That's a way to control something. And you know, I'm all for it sometimes, but I also think we need to discern for ourselves, feel into our own bodies. Each body is different. Every day in our body is different. So while I offer a lot of really form-based exercises, I like to also engender the idea of total freedom and play inside the body. Let it go, listen in, feel what feels good. Like I'm just having a little party inside my own body right now as I speak. Yes, shake those hands up over your head. The hands over the head shaking thing is like very joyous for me. I'm just going to tell you this really quick story and then we'll do something hard. We were making a video and Anthony was like, okay, pretend you're at a concert and you're so excited and you're seeing your favorite. It's like you're at the Beatles and you're 16 years old and it's like 1970. And you're like, ah, oh my God, ah, it's the Beatles. Ah. Bring that into your body. It's fun and ridiculous and you feel good, right? I see some laughter out there. Like it works. So I've been really playing with that of like arms up over my head and like, oh, open my eyes. That's what I missed doing in the videos is covering my mouth with my hand. But I was going like this. But when I saw the video, I was like, oh, I should be going like this. Anyway, you know, and then it's like it brings the feeling into your body. Okay. How to be happy. But some people are already too up and out there and they might need to be a little more grounded. I might be one of those people, right? So hands behind your head, elbow to knee, crossing over. 1, 2, here's a human pattern, contralateral movement. 5, 6, working across the body. Very good for our nervous system. 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake it out. Actually, that's one reason why I traditionally start my class with that inhale up, so that we open up to like inspiration. We open up to the heavens. We open our hearts and lungs. All right, hands down. I think we're gonna do these circles, circling out and down. These can be as big or small as you want. I'm pointing up and flexing down. I like to bring my head to the floor as my feet come up. And then as my feet go down, I like to look towards them. You could leave your head up. You could leave your head down. You could also do this with your hands behind your head. So it's nice to like have a variety pack of possibilities when you're doing something and listen in to what feels good at any given time. Like for some reason, I'm really digging this hands behind the head business right now. Last one. And relax. Shake it out. Jiggle your body. Maybe even give it a little. You can play it like a drum. Soften into the floor. And let's take a heel rock. Digging your heels into the floor, letting your head, neck, chest, and lungs bobble. Let your bones really free up. So think of the bones, the fascia, that's all your tendons, ligaments, everything, muscle casings, everything that's going through to hold your form. Let that all soften and melt, allowing the extracellular matrix, also known as the interstitial fluid, the stuff outside of the cells, the fluid outside of your cells, slosh around. So anything that might be a little stagnant, meaning no movement, is waking up and getting some movement. Wiggle, soften, jiggle, shake it out. And relax for a second, just feeling into your body. What does it feel like now? Yeah, so starting, if possible, to start to attune yourself more to feeling what your body feels like as being much, much more important than what it actually looks like, right? We're so conditioned to worry about how we look, but let's spend more time with how we feel. All right, we're gonna do some actual like Bartanya, circling in, opening out, X. So you're gonna circle around and in, and then draw a snow angel on the floor with one side and then the other. Circling in, open it up. So I'm trying to keep my hands and feet pretty much connected to the ground the whole way around. Like I'm drawing the circle around Vitruvian man. In my case, Vitruvian woman. Circling, 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 going through that middle point, the Da Vinci middle point. Circling around, surrendering onto each side. And then coming back in, and let's flip over. I feel like we've been on our backs for a long time. Sound like in a brothel. They've been on their backs for a long time. Let's flip them over. Totally inappropriate humor. Let's come on to, let's just do this. So you have two choices. One choice is your knees are on the floor and you're going to circle here. A harder choice, if you are healthy in your wrists, is coming up to a very wide downward dog. Your knees are bent and your feet are wide and you're going to circle around. Wrist to ankle to wrist. Feeling the support structures of your bones as you move around and imagining into the bones, very healthy activity in the bones. Changing direction, sort of the most dense, earthy part of our body, our bones, our teeth, and our fingernails, maybe even our hair is kind of earthy too. And then go ahead and walk your feet closer together. Bend one knee, bend the other. You can look under your armpit, free up your spine. And let's take it forward into a plank. Head is reaching forward, heels reaching back. You can do this on your forearms also. Pushing forward and backward. Head and then heels. Imagining you're like one of those circus performers who's going to shoot yourself out of a cannon. So you want to get really long in line. I don't know why I like that image. I just love it. Can you imagine getting shot out of a cannon, flying and then landing in a net? And then release and come down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Sitting in any comfortable position. It doesn't have to be like this. And arch. Oh, open it up. If this feels okay to drop your head back, go ahead. If it doesn't feel good, don't. And then release. I feel like I had years where I couldn't drop my head back. It hurt too much. And now I'm like, oh, this actually feels really good. So things shift around. But I also go see chiropractors on a very regular basis. Yeah, get body work. If you have any kind of injuries or issues, don't just settle for it. Let's come onto a side forearm plank and press it up. Pulsing up with your waist. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Taking it down onto your side. Let's do this. How do I want to have my hand? I have to think about this. Or it's this bottom arm. I'm trying to figure out if I want to be here or here. I think head and hand is good if you're down. So we're going to take crunching in, Superman out. Draw it in, reach it out. Elbows passing knee and reach in. Take it back. Try to get your leg as far behind you as you can. In, out, in, out. Reach for the star with that top arm. Remember the rock star, the Beatles that are right in front of you or whatever they are. Maybe it's Marilyn Manson, who knows? I don't know if he's anyone's hero. Reach it out, take it to the back, and you can put your hand back down, head in your, however is comfortable for your head, circles in the back space. Really reach into the back so that you feel the stretch up here in the front of your organs, in the front of your torso. And then flex and change direction, reaching through your heel. And then we're going to bend that knee, grab the ankle, take it back, heel into your butt, stretching your quad, breathing into it. Kick it further behind you. And release. Shake it out. There's so many things that I wanted to do with you guys today. but I'm afraid that if I get too much going, I'll forget what the whole line of things is. So let's go on to our other side and start that side plank. So flipping over, pressing up, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take it down. Head probably best here. We're going in and then reach, curling in, reaching out. And I'm like looking down and then looking beyond my fingers. In, reaching toward David Bowie. Draw it in, reach it out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Getting the stretch through the front of the organs, through the front of the torso. Last one. And then you can put your head, you can change your position. Just take the leg into the back, circles, pointed toes, reaching back there. And flex, change direction. And then bend it, grab, take it back. So heel into your butt first, stretching your quad. And then take it further behind you. Reach it out. And then release. Let's roll over onto our backs for a second and just roll from side to side. So to massage out the back, our backs, we're gonna optionally open through the middle and close if that feels good. Body half opening and closing, massaging out your back, expansive, and then softening. So there's a sense of radiating outward and then coming into yourself. Opening, expanding, and then releasing into the earth. Stretching out, closing it in, surrendering to the ground. Open and close. And then we're going to flip onto our bellies. So coming onto your belly, we're going to go one leg at a time, and then we're going to do both legs. So we already did this quad stretch. We're doing it again from our bellies. Just starting here. If you don't feel a quad stretch, you can lift your knees slightly off the floor. If your pubic bone's popping up, you may not feel a quad stretch. So you want to sort of bring your pubic bone into the mat. Not hyper engaged, but a little bit of engagement there. And you can move your heel towards your midline and then slightly towards the edge, which will change the stretch in the front of the quad. So really getting three-dimensional work into your quadricep, into the fascia in front of your thigh, and also even into your IT band, because we're moving this whole, all that tissue together. It's like we're taking a sponge, a few layers of sponges that has some like hydration, and squishing them all around. Then we're going to kick the whole thing up. Arm and leg, half bow. Breathe, radiate outward, open. And then soften yourself back into the floor and switch it to the other side. Same thing, heels drawing into your butt, pubic bone drawing toward the mat. Maybe your knees coming up off the floor, it really depends. And then you can move the heel towards midline and then towards the edge, letting the whole femur, the whole bone of the femur, internally and externally rotate just a little bit, so that all the tissue outside of that on your quad, your IT band, everything is getting some movement. And then we're going to kick the whole thing up, radiate out, breathe into it. And release it down. Take your head on your hands, shake it out, let your body relax, have a free form moment of movement and thought. Massaging your quads or not, wagging your tail, surrendering into the earth, letting go. And then let's come back and we're going to grab both if possible, lift up. So we're in bow pose. We're going to open the knees wide and then close them together. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, exhale, using your breath. Open, try to get your knees together. Open, again, we're working that tissue from the IT band through the quad. Last one. And relax. Take it into an arch up. Reach your tail back, tail reaches. Really actively reach with your tail, like you're sticking your butt out at someone. And soften and melt, surrender, let go. Breathing, softening, easy body. You can shift around, letting your spine free up. Relax your hips and butt. Maybe even moving a little bit more from side to side with that. And then shifting your weight back and rolling it up. Relax your neck and tongue. You can stick out your tongue. Shake it out. I want to do push-ups because I need to do them. So any version that you need to do or not do is fine with me. I'm going to do elbows out to the sides. So more of a pec push-up and not so much of a tricep push-up. There's so many variety packs of push-ups. When I do the wide ones, my hands need to be a little bit wider. I'm going to do this with a knee drop in the middle. So I'm going to do push-up, knee drop. You could also do push-up, knee lift. Off we go. Going 1. I'll probably change halfway through. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Breathe. Turn your head from side to side. A central channel, easy movement. Relax your neck and tongue, relax your throat. Shake out your arms. We're going to do a hand and wrist release. We really usually do this with our ankles, but I was watching a Tai Chi master video and he's like, there's so many meridians and points in your wrist and hand. So, and like finding the energy out to the edge of our hand so that we have this like connection, like sea creatures finding our fluidity. But we're going to take our hand, one hand is going to grab the wrist and you're going to kind of pull the tissue away. As you're doing that, you're going to mobilize your wrist and hand. So I'm pulling, I'm moving, getting all of that movement in the fascia. There's the interosseous membrane, which is the membrane that, well, it's a bunch of fascia that goes in between those two bones, your radius and your ulna. So I'm just encouraging the movement in that. Then I'm going to change it. Instead of pulling, I'm just going to squeeze and move my hand and move the bones. So I'm kind of squishing and squeezing, massaging in, kind of trying to get my hand in between my radius and ulna a little bit with this hand. So it's, here's the radius and ulna are going like that. When my arm is open, they're parallel. When I do that, the radius curls over the ulna. Ulna is the one that's going to your elbow. So I'm going to get in there and give that some squishing. And I'm going to move my hand in whatever way feels good. So I have studied a lot of different types of body work, but I find that really listening to my own body gives me more information than following some kind of pathway that I've been taught. So for me right now, right here, what I feel is like there's a lot of stuff going on up here in this muscle and fascia. So I'm just going to spend more time there. It might be different for you. Yeah, maybe somewhere else. And then also there's a whole lot of stuff right in here as far as like the acupressure, acupuncture, meridian stuff, which I don't really know that much about. but it feels true to me. And when I was watching the guy's video, he's talking about that. So lots of stuff around the wrist. There's one point right in the middle, right in there. And then of course, I think we all know about this one in between the thumb and the hand. Yeah, hello. So I like to think of I'm doing something with one hand, but I'm also doing something with the receiver so that the movement is happening from the outside and the inside. Good, let's shake that out. And just feel the difference between your two hands. One hand's been doing a lot of work, and one hand's been kind of doing some work, but this arm that I've been working on feels much more free to me than this one. So we're gonna start with you're making a cuff and you're pulling, and you're circling, or you can it's almost like you're putting on a glove that you really have to wriggle into. Oh yeah, lots of stuff going on in this arm. So listen to your own body. If you need to do something different than what I'm doing, by all means, do it, go for it, listen in. Then the next level is kind of trying to get between the radius and all of those two bones and squish in. And I have to say, from being a pole dancer, I've gotten injured in there. I think I've torn parts of my interosseous membrane. I've had some major shit. So this type of work of me listening to my own body has really helped me heal things much more quickly, and also seeing a chiropractor. But that's just, I mean, if I could afford it, I would see a lot of different body workers. The chiropractor is the one that I can afford. So that's who I go to. All right. Yeah, this is the same for me on this side. I'm also feeling the same stuff in this big bunch of muscle and fascia on the top. So I listen into it. How do I want to move it, and how does it want to move? And it's really a conversation between both sides of my body. One side going, what does this feel like? The other side going, what does this feel like? So really tuning into sensation. And trusting that I actually have some intelligence to work with my own body, right? And then come back in at some point and get around the wrist again. Same thing. I like to do little circles. So I got a lot of body work from an amazing doctor in New York called Dr. Ting. He did Tuina. And my God, he healed so much stuff in my body, so much soft tissue stuff. So I think, did you go to him, Linda? Yeah, Saul. Yeah, he was awesome. I recommended him to everyone. He was like 82 the last time I went to see him, which was probably a good 15 years ago. Anyway, he cleared up so many injuries that I had. Anyway, so I learned how to do the stuff that he does just to myself. And then I imagine that it's him doing it to me, and I get the extra bonus of the Dr. Ting magic. I know he was thanked on so many dance company programs. Shake it all out. Do the thumb. Tuning into yourself. Hello, body. Let's work together. I had to work with myself when I was getting so many injuries. I would always get injured right before a performance. And I was like and it would stress me out so much. I'm making the show, I'm dancing in the show, I'm doing all this stuff, and then I'm injured. But it forced me to slow down. And so I eventually had a deep conversation with my own body saying, I want to keep performing and I want to keep dancing. I really need to not get injured. And so there's like okay, but you really have to now take more care of yourself when you're going into performance time. Like you need to take more baths. You need to get more body work. You need to do all the things so that we can keep moving forward. But it worked. After that, I didn't, knock on wood, I didn't continue to get injured right before a performance. So shake it out. Let's come back to standing. And let's just take a quick shake around on our whole body in whatever way feels good to you. Relax your tongue. Shake, shake, shake. Letting go of anything you do not need, anything that's not serving you. And then inhale, gathering in, filling up with the resources you need, and let's plant them, either prayer or diving down, planting yourself, inhaling and opening. Come up whenever you're ready, fill up again, just doing this a few times, taking your time, going in your tempo, planting the seeds of you Inhale, open. Planting your seeds, the seeds that you want to sprout and grow. This is that time. Oh, and we're having a ritual on February 1st, which is in bulk, called Dancing in the Dark, really about choosing your seeds that you're planting and then planting them. This is the beginning of the light. We are, well, it's more than the beginning of the light, but we are smack dab in between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So let's take one breath out the outside and just dive up through the ceiling. Let's do 3 of those. Diving into your inspiration, diving up. Ah, yeah, diving into what you want. Exhale. Yeah, diving what you want in your life. And I said this on my, I don't know, I said this at some point, but one thing that I learned from my dad was, and maybe from my mom too, was don't spend your money on things. Spend your money on experiences. Spend your money going to see the opera. Spend your money taking a course. Spend your money having dinner with your friends, or spend it on things that enrich your life, not more stuff. So when I'm talking about calling in what you want, I'm really talking about soul purpose, about, you know, you achieving your best version of you in life on the planet. Like, we all need that right now. We need people to be stepping into their hearts, their guts, and with intention and loving kindness for each other. So I'm going to stop recording, and everybody in the room can stay on and talk or go if you need to. But thanks for showing up, and like and subscribe, share it if you know anybody that would be benefiting from this stuff.